Hey guys, welcome back again. Today we're doing a brake system flush. Got my buddy's bike here. It is severely overdue for a fluid change. We already did the clutch. You might have seen that video. But this is an ABS model. Now this has a couple things that are different from a non-ABS model. And I'm going to go through a couple options for dealing with those differences. And this does vary slightly on the generation between 2 and 3 also. Basically, you've got two reservoir systems. You got the front, same as any other bike out there, but this has what's called linked braking. So on this generation, when you actuate the rear pedal, it does actuate part of the front also. So it's a linked system, and we also have the ABS pump in the mix, which means that we basically have to flush at least one of the channels twice, and that's because the ABS pump holds a little bit of fluid in it, and just doing a flush does not get that fluid out of the pump. So there's a couple ways you can do that. Up until several years ago, you could buy a special tool from Yamaha, get access to your battery, plug the tool in, go through a whole diagnostic checklist basically, and it would actuate the pump. Alternatively, and by the way, you can't buy that tool anymore, it's basically just a jumper. If you want to make your own, bridge the sky blue and the black wire together, but it's still a pain in the butt to get access to most batteries on these. The easier thing is to simply ride the bike between 15 and 20 miles an hour. Note, you have to be at least above 6. The ABS won't actuate. And hit the rear brake as hard as you can. Actuate the ABS. When you feel a little bit of pulsing through the rear brake pedal, you've just actuated the pump. That's all it takes. It's just a few little pulses. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to flush the front, which consists of the upper nipple on the brakes here. Right up. Where'd it go on here? Right here. Okay, this is the front system. After we do the front, we're going to do the rear, and this is part of the rear. So this front right caliper has two nipples. Top is front, bottom is rear. And then over on the left side, we just have a single right here again. That's part of the front. And the only panel you're going to have to take off, you've got some quick connects, one here, and one under here, and then an Allen. And you need to take this off because the rear fluid reservoir is just behind this panel. So we're basically doing 3 brake jobs on an ABS model. Front, rear, actuate the ABS pump, then do the rear again. Did I miss one, or is there just a grommet? Grommet. So there's our rear reservoir, and you can see, even looking outside of this bottle, it is nasty, but trust me, it's way overdue. Make sure you do your fluids every 2 years. It's not a mileage thing, and there's nothing you can do to prolong it. So let's get to it. So the first step is done. The order for the front is to do the left side first, then the right top nipple. Okay, so that'll be your front circuit. The order for the rear is to do this bottom nipple first, then the rear. You can see that fresh fluid is coming out here nice and clear. And that's the old stuff coming out mixed with the new stuff. That's all you have to look for, is when you see the clear stuff coming out, you know that it's being flushed through. And all you do is crack open this nut up here. This happens to be a 10 mil up here. The clutch was an 8. And you just crack it open a quarter of a turn, draw your vacuum, and it'll just nice and slowly come out. Now this one here had been done before, so it had some maintenance done, and the threads were nice and sealed. There were no air bubbles leaking in to the lines, so it was just a nice solid stream of brake fluid. This clutch that I did previously had never been done before, and what happens is the threads on the actual bleed nipple can let some air in, so you see like a stream of bubbles coming in. Don't worry, it doesn't get into the system, it just makes it slower to suck out all the old fluid. So I'm gonna go do the other front. We'll go do the rear, and I'll show you what to do in between after that.
Having no brakes is a little bit of a scary thought.
All right, so Tom's going to go down the road. He's just going to hit 15 or 20 and hit the rear as hard as he can to actuate the ABS. That will flush out the little bit of dirty fluid stuck in the pump. Then we'll flush the rear cylinder, or the rear again, and that'll be it for the brakes. Really simple. I don't think that was hard enough. That looked like a pretty easy stop to me. Now, like I said, alternatively, you can build your own jumper tool and go through the long diagnostic to cycle the pump manually. This does the exact same thing as far as doing a brake job. Did you feel vibration in the rear?
I felt it lock up that time. The other times it wouldn't engage.
That's what I thought. Okay, as long as you felt it vibrate, you're good. Pull it back in.
One more time.
As long as you felt it actuate,
Shattered that time.
you're done.
Okay.
So there we go. Second flush done. Took what, 1.5 bottles of brake fluid there for the clutch and floor brakes. Okay, so we're good. That's it. Super easy. Nothing too complex. The only important things to remember are the order. For the front, you want to do the left, then the upper on the right. For the rear, you want to do the lower on the right, and then the rear. And then you want to actuate your ABS pump either manually like we did, or using a jumper tool. Like I said, it's the sky blue to black if you want to get in there. Search online for it. It's a very long diagnostic procedure for, turning the key to a certain position, hitting the starter a certain number of times. And like I said, it does vary generation to generation what the procedure is. But it's your choice, whichever way you want to do it. And then just make sure you flush it again to get that little tiny bit out. You may not even see it. Just do a full flush, top off your fluids, and you're good to go. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.